What's up? I hope you guys are doing fine. Welcome back to another video here on YouTube. As you guys saw from the title of the video and description, today we're going to dive straight into the power of the mind and the law of attraction. This is a very important principle, law, philosophy, or whatever you want to call it, that I've been studying for a couple of years now. I fell in love with the art of manifestation and the law of attraction when I was still finishing high school, in my last year of high school, 2022. And ever since then, I've been watching videos, reading books, and all of that stuff. And I think it's very important to master this if you're anyhow trying to become successful in life and have an amazing and incredible and huge desire to achieve the things that you want and the things that you imagine, right? Everything we have, we need to realize that everything we have today in this world, from this microphone to the camera I'm using to record, to the phone or any type of device you are using to watch me, comes from someone's mind. It comes from someone's imagination. None of these things would be possible without the incredible belief and will of someone who thought about it, believed it was possible, and brought it to life. So, what is this law of attraction, this manifestation? Is it real? Is it magic? Is it science? Is it spiritual? We're going to uncover all of that right now, and I'm going to leave you guys with key principles that you must master and learn in order to be able to manifest the life that you want and bring your imagination to life and transform and mold the environment around you and create the abundant life that you so wish and desire to acquire. Before we go into it, I'd love to tell you guys a story, right? Once upon a time, there was a man who was taking a walk, right? Not really a walk. He was jogging, right? After some hours running or jogging, he came across a garden, and he was tired. He was extremely tired from all the running, so he decided to take a rest, to take a nap. And he found a very beautiful tree around the garden, and he got there, he took a nap. After taking the nap, he wakes up and then he realizes that he's starving, he's hungry. And the first thing that comes to his mind is, damn, I wish I had an incredible banquet right here with me, with a lot of food, with fruits and meats and chicken and all of that stuff. Once he begins to think about that, it comes into life. And he was so hungry that he did not even think twice. The first thing he did was start devouring all the food. He ate, and he ate. After finishing the food, he thought, damn, I'm so full right now. I wish I had something to drink. And it came to life as well. In front of him, there were different types of drinks, from juice to water, and a lot of wine. And he was a very passionate fan of wine. So he drank and he drank and he drank. At first he was hungry, and then he was thirsty. So he didn't think twice, he just drank. After that, after the moment passes, after drinking, then he starts questioning, okay, what the hell is happening right here in this place? Where am I? Because everything that I think about, happens. So the third thought that came into his mind this time was, okay, this must be a cursed place. I'm pretty sure that there are demons or ghosts around here. So then the ghosts come to life as well. Scared because the ghosts were there right in front of him after eating and drinking, which all came from his imagination, including the so-called ghosts. The final thought that this man thinks is, oh my God, there are ghosts around here. I'm scared they're going to kill me. And guess what? They kill him and he dies. Right. Not a wonderful end, right? But it's very important to learn and understand this story, because at some point we're all that same person. Because everything we think about has an incredible and amazing power, and they help shape our reality. And this is what you guys need to understand as we dive into manifestation and the law of attraction, which is that our mind, just like this man, is like a magnet. Whatever it is that you think about, whatever you imagine with great intention, with great power, and you really believe, that is what is going to happen with you. That is what is going to happen in your life. Remember, life doesn't happen. Life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. I say this all the time. We're not human beings having spiritual experiences there and there, and as in our time here on earth, we are spiritual beings having a current human experience. And everything you can think about in this world, from money to sex, success, love, everything, absolutely everything is spiritual. And the sooner you understand and above all accept that and start studying the spiritual laws of life, the more prosperous your life can be. Because understanding the spiritual laws of life change completely how you see things and put you in a whole different level, in a whole different pedestal. So, the first thing we need to know is that, like I said, the mind is a magnet. Everything you think about is going to happen eventually, because what you focus on is what you believe, and what you believe eventually is what you become, or it's what you experience, right? Most of the things that happen around you are a product of your imagination. And when you say it like this, obviously it sounds crazy. It sounds like it's fantasy. It's a fairy tale. But I'm going to explain deeply, step by step, how this actually works, and make you guys understand that it's not magic, and it's not a fairy tale. That's actually true. You can manifest the life that you want. And if there's this one thing that every successful person out there believes and agrees on, from artists to stars to even spiritual leaders to people in sports field like Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor, Steve Harvey, Oprah, Cristiano Ronaldo, and all the amazing successful people that you know out there, if there's one thing that they all agree on, is that you can manifest the life that you want, and that everything you think about can come to life if you're aligned with it, if you focus on it, and if you do every single thing with intention, right? Albert Einstein once said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination is everything. Imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. Though knowledge is extremely important. It's very important for a man or woman to pursue knowledge and to learn about the very different aspects of life. But imagination is definitely the most important factor of all, because knowledge takes you from point A to point B. However, imagination takes you as high as you can go, as high as you can think, as high as you can believe. You can go as high as you can dream. If you understand and accept that, imagination is the preview of life's coming attraction. The dreams that you have, those visions that you have, whatever God plants into you, they're not there by coincidence. You have to take that leap of faith and take that first step and trust in God and do every single thing with intention, with a clear purpose. Eventually, it will come to life. We should have not hope, but faith. This wise man says that hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire while faith takes a leap over it. And that's how you live your life, with intention. No matter what happens, regardless of the challenges and whatever comes along the way, you need to always take that leap of faith, jump, and just go and keep going and keep going. And once you have this mindset, once you grab it and you accept that, you know what? Everything I can imagine, if I can see it in my mind, I can hold it in my hand, then you open a whole new level of life, and you master the art of manifestation and the law of attraction, because once you have that mindset, once you really believe that you can do everything you can imagine, no one can stop you, right? Like, who's going to stop you? If you can do everything you can imagine and there's no limit to the imagination, and you accept that all these dreams you have are just preview of what is coming to fruition of what will happen to in your life eventually, and you just keep going with all the intention, then that's it. Nothing can stop you. No one will stop you, right? In Matthew 7:7, it says, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open." Galatians 6:7-8 says, "Whatever a man sows, that he will reap." So even religion, accepts the existence and the fact that if you can imagine something and you work towards it and you plant those seeds, you ask, you work towards it, you knock, eventually it will come to life. Eventually the universe, God, whatever you believe in, will bring that to you. The religious people call this fate. Philosophers call it the law of attraction. And quantum physics and science calls it manifestation, right? Because what is fate? Fate is the belief of things not yet seen, not yet experienced, right? You imagine something, you visualize it, and then you work towards it, and you receive it way before it happens. And that is what we call the law of attraction. That is what we call manifestation. And it is true. It is real. And that's what we're going to uncover in this video. But the most important of all, before we proceed to the technical aspects of this, is that we all need to understand and accept that, number one, the mind is a magnet, and what you focus on is what you believe. What you believe is what you eventually become or experience. Because if you change your attitude, then you change your altitude, right? If you change the way you act, the way you see things, the way your mindset, you change a whole bunch of things. You change your outcome. You change how far you can go. And it's all a matter of unblocking something in your mind. Because this is how it works, right? We have attention, which is where it starts. Whatever you put your attention on, wherever your attention is, that's where it starts. Wherever your attention is, that's where your thoughts come from, which is how you think. And then from your thoughts, which is how you think, that's how your emotions come up, which is how you're feeling. From those emotions, then what happens is your body reacts to your emotions, right? And which is how your body reacts, your behavior, and how you react from your emotions that come from your thoughts, that come from where your attention and focus is, then end up shaping the reality and the outcome. Habakkuk, which is a book in the Bible, says that, the Lord answered me, write down this vision and clearly inscribe it on tablets, so that he may run who reads it. So before we close this last part, I'd like to tell you guys a story about Jim Carrey, which is an incredibly successful comedian from Hollywood, right? He comes from a very humble family, and growing up, he didn't have the means, just like most successful people out there, especially financially. His family would go through a lot of financial problems, and as a kid, if there's one thing he really wanted to have, which was a bicycle, right? He really wanted a bicycle because he was tired of walking to everywhere he went to, but his family could not afford a bicycle. But once he was in an English class and he heard his teachers say this to him, the teacher told him that if he really wants something, he should pray to God and God would answer him. So one day he went back home and he prayed to God. He said, God, I really want a bicycle. He believed in it. A couple of months went by and he had completely forgot about this prayer. One day, he goes back home and he sees a bicycle. And he sees a bicycle in his living room. Surprisingly, that bicycle was a gift that he got not from his parents, and I'm going to explain you how he got that bicycle. Apparently, by coincidence, one of his friends had participated in a game, and that friend of his decided to write down Jim Carrey's name on the game, and he was just one of the thousands of other participants in that game. By luck, coincidence, or whatever we want to call it, by fate, this friend won the game, and the gift from this game was that bicycle that ended up going to Jim. And then when he saw that, and when he heard the story, he remembered that prayer that he did a while ago, which is an amazing story that describes the law of attraction. This was part 1, and now we're going to proceed to part 2, where I'm going to detailedly explain to you guys step by step how this actually works and how you can manifest the life that you want and how you can turn everything you want from your imagination into your reality. All right, so now I'm going to take you guys back in time. As I was saying, the law of attraction is not magic, right? There's a science, there's a perfect explanation behind it. And the law of attraction is just like any other law of the universe. It's like the law of gravity. We all know that if I drop this, it's not just going to fly along the air. It's going to fall. And that's the exact same thing with the law of attraction. So how does this actually work? So our body, I don't like science. I'm not a specialist in science, but I'm going to just give the brief explanation that I know. Right, so the most important thing that we all need to realize is that like attracts like, right? Positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative, right? And we need to understand that our bodies are made of atoms, which are like particles that vibrate at a certain rate. We have energy inside of us, Matter of fact, our bodies never stop vibrating, even if we die. That's how it even manages to decompose, because our bodies are always vibrating, and there's certain, if you use the proper equipment and you take a picture of yourself, you can even see like the energy field around your body, literally. Let's just call it aura, right? You can see your aura if you use the right equipment. And it's because the atoms in your body are vibrating at a certain frequency, and we're all made of energy. The world itself is also made of energy, of particles that vibrate from the sky to this marker to this thing. Everything is made of energy, right? But what happens is our body as atoms that vibrate at a higher frequency and that are higher than all the other atoms around the whole world. And like we said, like attracts like. So whatever frequency your body vibrates on, what happens is that's what you eventually attract. The same energy that your body is vibrating at, the same frequency that your body has, is the same frequency that you attract from the universe, right? Have we all had that experience when, for example, you're thinking about someone and that person ends up calling you, or you call someone and they let you know that, oh, I was just thinking about you, or you see someone on the app, on the internet, and then a couple of days later, you run into that person physically, and we think, oh no, it's coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence. There's no coincidence in that. It's because somehow you managed to attract that person or attract that thing. And that is why visualizing is extremely important, because like attracts like. So how does this thing actually work? What happens is this process I explained right here. See, what we need to know, that phrase I just said previously, which is what you focus on is what you believe, and what you believe is what you become, which is summarized right here. Where your attention is produces your thoughts, which is what you think, the things you think about. And then your thoughts produce your emotions, which is how you feel. Whatever you're thinking about makes you feel a certain way. And then how you feel influences your body, the way your body vibrates and the frequency of your body, which then ends up influencing your behavior and your reality. Nothing is a coincidence. So you can use this at your advantage, and you can also use this, and it can also be a huge disadvantage for you. Why? Because energy is never dead. You cannot kill energy. You can simply transform energy, right? Energy can go from positive to negative and all the way around. So what happens is, if we're constantly stuck in a space where your attention is in the problems and in the negative, this is what happens. You think about, your attention is in the negative, you think negatively, your emotions are all over the place because you're too focused on the negative side of things, and then your body ends up behaving in a negative way, and your behavior and your reality becomes negative. Why? Because like attracts like. So if you're constantly vibrating at a negative energy, if you're constantly focusing on the problems and what's wrong with you, this is what happens. You get stuck in this repetitive cycle of thinking about the wrong things and attracting the wrong things. That is why so many people live their whole life thinking and even believing that they're cursed, that there's something wrong with them, nothing ever works out for them. They give one step forward and then 10 steps back, because they don't know the power of breaking this cycle and the power of thinking positively. You need to think positively. You need to believe. You need to break the cycle. Eliminate all the negative thoughts. Focus, pay attention on the positive thoughts. And then that's when your frequency starts vibrating like this, and you start attracting what you really want. So, this is basically how it works. Like I said, this is your body, and then this is your mind, right? This is your brain, and this is your body. What you think about dictates how your body vibrates, and as we covered before, like attracts like. If your body moves in a negative frequency, that's what it attracts, right? These are the results it will attract. Negative results. If your body is vibrating on a positive frequency, then what do? You attract positive results. Now, how does this actually go? Your mind is divided into the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is kind of like a hard drive, right? A hard disk. And this is basically where most of your memory, your long-term memory, is stored. And it influences a lot on how you think, how you act, your emotion. It's where most of your attention is, and it definitely ends up influencing your frequency, and obviously at the end, your results. In the conscious mind, there's something called a paradigm, right? A paradigm. So when you were a baby, it was basically kind of like the same thing. This is your mind, this is your body, and this makes up your paradigm. When you were a young baby, you had different experiences, right? We all have certain experiences that definitely help at the end shape who we are, shape how we think, how we act, and it then influences the whole previous game that I had explained before. Attention, thought, emotion, body, behavior, and reality. Your paradigm is like stored in the subconscious mind. And this is a mix and combinations of your experiences as a child, your childhood traumas, if you were abused, if your parents were divorced, all those memories you have as a child that keep on haunting you are because of this, your paradigm. And then your conscious mind is basically the part of the brain that you use every single day, every single moment of your day, every single second to think about whatever it is that you're thinking. Most of us force ourselves to think positively, right? And it's like I said, you think positively, it then affects you, you vibrate in a positive way, you attract positive results, right? Like I said, the conscious mind is the part of the mind of the brain that you use every single day. It's like the powerhouse of your brain. You think every single day, you think positively, you try, to escape the negative cycle and break on that chain. However, most of us have a problem, right? Because the conscious mind is the mind that you educate. But however, if the subconscious mind is still stuck in a paradigm that thinks negatively or that has X energy or negative energy because of your childhood and your experiences, then chances are this whole thinking positively will never work, because you will still vibrate negatively and attract negative results because of how you were programmed to think and because of all the experiences you've been through. Let me give you a perfect example, because the conscious mind is the educated mind, right? But you may find out that there are many people that are well educated that have pursued, that brings us back to our original quote of Albert Einstein in the beginning: imagination is everything, it is more important than knowledge. Because you can have all the knowledge in the world. There are people that have numerous degrees, that have studied in the best schools, in the best places you can possibly think of. But the results in their life do not equate to their level of education, because as much as they have all the knowledge in the world, as much as they can think positively, their childhood traumas, their experiences only allow them to vibrate positively up to a certain point. Because then all the childhood trauma, all this paradigm, all this toxicity and negative thoughts in your subconscious, stored permanently in the subconscious mind, definitely ends up influencing you, definitely ends up getting most of your attention, and obviously that whole cycle: attention, thoughts, emotion, body, reality. So our biggest war is to not just think positively, but somehow manage to take all this childhood trauma that happens and reprogram your subconscious mind so that the paradigm can go from X to Y, so that your whole body vibrates in a positive way and you can manage to have positive results and attract positive things and remain positive even when negative things happen. Let me give you guys a perfect example, right? And I'm going to use this example because I see it happening a lot, right? Most women, most girls, let's talk about girls that go through a rough experience in their childhood, right? And then in their paradigm, there are a bunch of traumas. Let's say maybe your parents were divorced, you live with a single mom. Basically, you did not have the perfect example of a good, healthy relationship in your life. So you grow up kind of like your mind grows up rejecting the idea of perfect love and healthy relationship, because you don't know what that feels like. You have not experienced that. But then you grow up also watching all this Disney movies, this princess movies and all this Netflix and all of that. And you grow up wanting a healthy relationship. You want to break on that cycle. So you start thinking positively. However, you meet the nice guy, right? At the end of the, but somehow you find yourself being more attractive to the toxic guys that are kind of like a reflection of the unhealthy relationship you were a part of when you were a child. Why do you think that happens? Why do you think that happens with literally every single girl that has been through a traumatic experience as a child? You find a nice guy, you usually end up projecting at them because your body, your mind, your soul, your heart, everything is more attracted into the toxicity, the same toxic behavior and reality you were once with. You cannot accept, healthy things because your paradigm is stuck in all those negative experiences you've been through to the point where your body and mind itself do not allow yourself to experience new things, to experience the positive. So as much as you are educated, you do all the things you try to think positively and break on that cycle. As long as you don't change this program you have stored in your brain, none of this works. So to conclude the video, I'm going to explain. This whole thing of changing the paradigm is a very complex subject that I'll have to make a separate video to completely explain. But to close the video, I'm going to leave you guys with, as always, key principles or laws that you should use to help you manifest the life that you want. Number one is that you need to realize that your mind your mind is a magnet, right? Takes us back to like attracts like. The more you get stuck on focusing your attention on the negative, then that's all you attract. Because if this is how your body is vibrating, whatever you send to the universe, let me use a different marker. Whatever you send to the universe, it's the same thing that is going to come back to you. It's karma, right? We can have good karma and bad karma. And unfortunately, like I said, this is a law of the universe that you cannot run from. Everything you do, everything you put out there into the world, eventually will haunt you, will come back to you. That's why you don't choose to be good or to do the good in the world or to be good to people expecting a return from the people you help, right? Because we're all humans, we all make mistakes. Your return in being a good person shouldn't come from the people around you or from the people that you help. You have to trust and believe that by being good, the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, will reward you at the right time. You don't do good deeds expecting returns from, normal people, from average people, from humans. That's not how you do things. And you should also expect the exact same thing if you're a bad person, right? You can go on for a very long time, but eventually karma comes back to you. And the people who succeeded in life have realized this a very long time ago, that the more good deeds they do, the more amount of good they put there out into the world, and the more positively they think, the more results they get, and the more they get back from God and from the universe. Because your mind, your actions, your thoughts, your emotion, the way you vibrate, it's all a magnet, right? How you vibrate, what you do, eventually influences your results, and it comes back into you. That's why you see all of these successful people that are not even believers, they don't have an extreme faith, they're not even religious, yet they donate to charity, they do all this kind of good deeds, and they keep on preaching about the power of the mind and staying positive and thinking positively, because they've realized a very long time ago that one, your mind is a magnet, and most importantly, whatever you throw out there into the universe comes straight back into you. And then the second principle is Matthew 7:7, right? Ask, believe, and receive. What does this mean? And it goes back to that verse I said previously in the video, Habakkuk 2:2. The Lord answered me, write down the vision clearly, inscribe it on tablets, so that he may run who reads it. What does this mean? First, you need to ask, you need to believe, you need to receive. And what is asking, right? You cannot ask for something if you don't know what you want. So the most important thing is, if you want to manifest something, if you want to bring something into life, you need to know what that is. And one of the ways to do that is by writing it down, right? I have a journey, and this is like just one of the 7 other journeys I've been writing on for the past 5 years. If you go to my room back home, you'll find a huge number of journeys. And let me tell you this, sounds like I'm joking, sounds like this is not real, but it's 100% real. 99% of the things I've been living and experiencing this year, I started dreaming and visualizing, writing these things down a long time ago. That is why it's very important to make vision boards, right? I show you guys my vision boards, but there's some aspects that I haven't achieved yet that I don't feel comfortable sharing with you guys now. But eventually I will share you guys, and I will prove you guys that every single thing I'm experiencing right now, I thought about it, I manifested it a very long time ago. From a child, I already knew what I wanted to do, when I wanted it to be done. I visualized it, I put it down, I wrote it down in my vision board, in my notes. I even have my current vision board for 2025 on as my wallpaper. Right here you can see I want a Rolex, I want a Mercedes, I want $1 million, I want to be under Forbes 30 under 30 magazine. Right now, this is 25th of Jan. By the time we release this video, most of this stuff would not have happened yet. But fast forward 6 months from now, I promise you, every single one of these things will come to life. I'll prove you guys that you can manifest the life that you want, and you can turn your dreams and whatever you visualize, if you really believe it, and if you move with intention, intensity, and purpose, you can make it happen. So you have to ask, you have to believe, and you have to receive. What does this mean, receive? What is faith? Faith is the belief of things not yet experienced, right? You don't wait for you, if you're praying for health, you don't wait for you to feel good to receive it, right? To receive the miracle. If you're waiting for a miracle, you don't wait for the miracle to happen to receive you. Imagine yourself as a character playing a video game, and ask yourself, what would you like to be, right? What are the characteristics you'd love for that character to have if your life was a video game? And then embrace it, It's like, it's not really fake it till you make it, but it's, don't wait for things to happen for you to receive them. Start living as if you're already that person. Imagine it, visualize it, and embrace it, Get on that feeling. Imagine as if you're already that guy. Imagine as if you're already driving the car that you wish to be driving. Imagine that you already have the amount that you want in your bank account, and it will come to life. But again, for all of this to work, you need to understand that your mind is a magnet, and you need to ask, believe, and receive. And for you to ask and believe, you need to know what you're asking for. So write it down, create vision boards, let it be playing out there into the universe. Let God know of what is it exactly that you want. How do you want your life to go on? Let him see, let the universe see, let the universe know what you want, and let the universe see that you're putting in the effort to become that. Ask, believe, receive, and knock, and keep knocking, and those doors will eventually open. The third principle, as we come to an end, is gratitude, right? There's no more powerful prayer than gratitude. If you want to be blessed, God must see, the universe must see that you can deal with what you have right now. You're grateful with what you have right now before he can bless you with bigger things. You need to be grateful. You need to let God know that you're grateful for what you have. So every single day, do not forget to appreciate where you are, acknowledge where you are, embrace where you are. Don't stay comfortable, but appreciate where you are and what you have. Because to go to the next level, you must show gratitude to where you are. God will not bless you with plenty if you're not grateful with the little. And then the last important point is, it takes us back to what we were talking about before, which is pretend, right? You have to pretend. You don't wait for certain things to happen. Like I was saying, you receive them now. You have to tell yourself, it's here, it's here, it's here, and it's happening now. In the book of Exodus in the Bible, God says a very powerful phrase, I am that I am. That phrase, I am, is the most important phrase that you use to manifest everything that you want. Put it out there. Let the universe know. Write it down. I am rich. I am blessed. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am abundantly blessed. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, whatever it is that you're looking to get, wherever it is that you want to go, say it right now. Receive it right now. I am this. I am that. And that's one of the best ways to manifest the life that you want. Write it down. Even you have to write it down 10 times a day, every single day. Use your journals, Practice this act of writing it down, creating vision boards. Imagine the life that you want and start receiving it now. And that, guys, sums up the law of attraction, manifestation, fate, or whatever name you want to give to this principle, which is everything you imagine can happen and can come to life. If you can see it in your head, then you can hold it in your head.